All right, so I made a generic number line, and Katie told me that to get rid of times -4, I divide by -4. That gives me x is greater than 16 divided by -4 is -4. Now, Ava, just be careful here. Watch me do it, and then we're going to talk about what happens, okay? So I just want everybody to pay attention here. Now, when I divide it by -4, I got x is greater than -4. So that's going to be an open circle, and I'm eating the variable, so I shade to the right. But these numbers to the right represent solutions to this, correct? So any number over here is a solution to that. So if that is true, and I didn't do anything different, right? I divided by -4, I kept the sign, we're all good. Then if I take this number, what number is that, Eva? 0. If I take that number and I plug it into my inequality, it should be true. What's 0 times anything, Eva? 0. Eva, is 0 greater than 16? No. So what happened here was when I did my problem and I got my answer and I picked 0, it didn't work. So what's the issue here? And the issue is, well, let's start here. Did I do any of that wrong? No. 0 times anything is 0. So that's correct. So let's look at this. Was 0 under my line? Yeah, right? So that's correct. So let's go here. This is this spot, right? Let's look at this spot. Well, does this match that? And the answer is yes, it does. Well, 16 divided by -4 is -4. And the only thing that I could have made a mistake on is this. Right here. What did I do to my sign? I have to flip it. So if I come back here, because 0 didn't work, and I flip my sign, and now I go that way, let's check and see what happens. So I'm going to pick, instead of this number, let's pick -5. -4 times -5 is that greater than 16? Negative times a negative is a positive. Hey, look at that. It balanced out. So here's the thing. When you divide by a negative, you must, oh no. You must flip your sign. Okay? Can you guys copy this down? You have to flip your sign when you divide or multiply by a negative. And that comes from, well, let's think about it. A negative times a negative is a positive, right, Joey? So, like, we're flipping signs when we're dealing with negatives, right? Especially with multiplying and dividing. So here, I have to take into account the flipping of the sign. Well, now, I only have my one load pen. All right. So knowing that, I had you guys stop right around 40 or 50 when you started encountering negatives. So here, the one thing I need to pay attention to is the number that is now linked with my variable. If that number that's linked with the variable is negative, I need to flip my sign. So with A, I divide by -7. And then I have to flip my sign, okay? So from here to here, I'm going to flip my sign. So I have Y, flip my sign, -5. So I have a closed circle at -5, and I'm going to shade to the right. Grace, what do I divide by here? Yeah, and B. What type of 3? Positive or negative? Negative. So I'm going to divide by -3 here. So I have to flip my sign, and I have the -3's canceling out. I'm eating the C, so I'm going to flip my sign. Negative divided by negative is positive. So I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's going to be a closed circle. I'm no longer eating my C, so I shade to the left. Mike, can you hear me?
Just a little bit, man.
Mike, what am I going to divide by or multiply by
Sheesh.
in C?
You're gonna multiply point.
What was that?
I'm trying to think. Do you multiply the -5?
Yeah, multiply by -5. So they cancel. I have to flip my sign. And that gives me X, flip my sign, 25. So I have a closed circle at 25. I'm now eating the X, so I shade to the right. I want you guys to try D and E. D and E. You okay, Nate? So, Nate?
Yeah,
All right, I'll call him. I'll get it. All right, Nate, what'd you get for D? What would you do?
Is the answer -6 is greater than 1?
Nope. Wait.
Multiply by -3. And flip the sign.
So those cancel. Y, flip your sign. -6. Nicely done. Now what? Where does my circle go?
Is it open circle left?
Like that?
I don't know.
Perfect.
Okay,
You're perfect just the way you are, Nate.
thank you.
Except maybe your hair could be a little shorter. All right. Let's look at E. John,
Hello.
how are you?
Good. How are you?
Missed you at lunch yesterday. All right, John. What do we do here? What do I
Multiply both sides by -10.
times by negative?
And then I guess you get -10 is less than or equal to z.
Okay.
And then you swap it. Or wait, no, never mind.
So it's a closed circle.
And I
Which way
guess
am I shooting?
to
Left.
the right.
Perfect.
Alright, cool.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
How are you guys feeling about that? Pretty good? All right. So here's what I'm going to do.